I don't know how to begin this video, and I don't even know how to end it, but I'm just going to do what I've always been doing and just kind of speaking from the heart, being honest. And hold on one second. And, just telling it like it is. I haven't posted a video in a while. I'm probably going to record a few videos tonight, and they're going to be posted throughout the week here on the platform. But, of course, if you're subscribed and following me on my on the alternative tech sites, I post everything in real time, so there's no waiting or any of that nonsense. With that being said, I've been incredibly busy, which is why I haven't been posting. I've been remodeling my home, and also my grandfather was unfortunately hospitalized, but he's totally fine. It was nothing that can't be fixed with modern medicine. It was a stomach infection of some sort, but, of course, given everything that is going on with people who are ending up in these hospitals, I was of course worried, but fortunately, family's okay. And this is going to be a message of hope, a video for hope, and just urging people to just hang in there, be patient. And we're gonna have to roll with the punches, and this is something that I got to impress upon people, and I said this often enough when I was defending the president of the United States, because people would try to sway me away from having any sort of an affinity for the president. And they would say something like, oh, well, he's a loser. Look at all these failed businesses. Look at all these failures in his life. Just a wake of failures right behind him. And I would respond, well, there's no blueprint to life. There's no blueprint to business. And in life, people fail. And what differentiates a weak person from a great person is getting back up and trying again. Despite Trump's few or many failures, depending on how you look at it, he never gave up. This is not a person who quits. And not once has he suggested that he was going to back down and give up. It seems like he is going to fight this thing to the bitter end. Even now, as I make this video on, what's today's date? It's like the 29th or the 30th? It's the 30th. It's the 30th. So we're on the brink of entering into the new year. Our foot is literally right through the door, and the other one is following right behind it. And, it's very likely, very possible that the President of the United States does not prevail on January 6th, or he doesn't prevail before the inauguration day, because apparently disputes can go on all the way up until the January 20th. We'll see, but I'm praying, I'm hoping, but what I did not foresee were at least the Supreme Court and at least the Senate not giving up. It would have been, it's obvious to people who, people like me, that President Trump carried the Republican Party. The Republican Party wasn't registering a pulse until 2016. These people are losers. They suck. There's a reason why President Trump ran as a Republican, because most Republican senators and Congress people, the Republican Party is just full of losers. There's not that many heavy hitters. They're very easy to knock out, and Trump proved that convincingly in 2016, which is why they had to undermine him and nuke him from orbit. So again, the message of hope is this: they had to do all sorts of sneaky rat boy shit to depose the president of the United States. That's even if they get to depose him. Let's just operate under the assumption that they're going to replace the president with sleepy, creepy Joe Biden. They had to nuke this guy from orbit and essentially do immense damage to themselves in the process to get rid of him. There were so many Hail Marys from the modern left to defeat him. They recruited the pedophiles in Hollywood to produce and make just an endless stream of propaganda to get rid of him. The fake news industry running cover and interference for the Communist Chinese Party or the Communist Chinese government. They of course just ran a nonstop negative campaign against the president since 2015. Relentlessly. And it wasn't just enough to go after the president. They went after his followers, his supporters, his fans, his members of his administration, his family. They ruined people's lives. They advocated for and celebrated violence if it was perpetrated from members of the modern left, like Antifa or Black Lives Matter. Of course, the institutions, they're all against Trump. They've all failed Trump. And of course, in return, they've also failed the American citizenry. They failed the regular person who relied on these institutions. They recruited these universities to pump the young people full of propaganda, and then of course they essentially outsourced all the rigging, all the nonsense in the election. That is what they had to do to defeat Trump, and it barely worked. It barely worked. It's a sign of things to come in the future. The populist movement, people on my side of the political spectrum, we have grown significantly. We have significant staying power. There's too many of us to be ignored at this point. The sleepy Joe Biden is not going to go into this thing with a mandate, no matter how many times him and Camel Toe Harris says so. I don't know why I called her that. I'm actually kind of averse to calling her weird names like that. She sucks. Fuck her. But anyways, they had to do all this stuff. They're not going to go in there with a mandate. The Democratic Party is fractured, but then again, so is the GOP. I plan to assist in primarying every single Republican that has stood against President Trump. Even if he wins, I want to completely destroy the Republican Party, because it would be suicidal to keep them around, given how duplicitous its high-ranking members are, like Mitch McConnell. And then, of course, the modern left, that goes without saying, they sabotage themselves. They had violent activists. They used violent activists on the ground to scare people into submission, and it didn't work. They exploited this bullshit pandemic, and they violated people's rights. They tried everything in their power to pass the blame onto the president of the United States, and it failed. We're on the right track. And it's why I tell people, it's like we have to be defiant. We need to do the things that they don't want us to do. They don't want us to speak out. They don't want us to show political courage in the face of great adversity. They want us to cower in our man caves. They want us to cower in our homes and watch Netflix all day and just bow our heads to these mega corporations. And I'm here to say no. I'm telling people, do not give up. Do not give in. Do not give these people the satisfaction of a crushing defeat, because they want to not just beat you, but they want to see the life inside you be snuffed out with all the cheating, with all the bullshit, with all the demoralization. I refuse to give them the time of day. I refuse to give it to them. I will not, despite this not being the desirable outcome. And besides it being very upsetting too, I'm not going to behave the way that they did. Look at how they behaved. Look at how insane these people were since 2015. Do we want to turn into that? Do we want to be that? Do we want to emulate that behavior? And the answer to that is obviously no. I certainly don't. I don't want to be a leftist or one of the fringers or any of these progressive dorks like Jimmy Bohr or Chunk Yogurt or Kyle Kalinske, that fucking dork. No, I don't want to be like any of these losers. I don't want to be like any of them at all. I don't want to behave like any member of the modern left. These people were crazy and unhinged. And then they want to call us crazy because we refuse to accept the election as it played out, or the way that that it's being advertised by the fake news industry. I refuse. I absolutely refuse 100%. There were people. This is how crazy and unhinged the modern left was. They were saying things like, Trump beats Melania. He's beating up. Melania's fucking dead. The Melania stunt double. Like, these people are insane. They were going on and on about like Russian hoax, Russian spies, fucking Trump peeing on, strippers peeing on his face or whatever. Just insane stuff. And then, of course, you have all these like weird, creepy women saying that like Trump raped them, and of course they're all like ghoulish and shit, and like Trump would never have anything to do with them. They completely self-destructed. They completely lost their fucking minds. The modern left lost their fucking minds, and we cannot do that. We cannot become what they are, or we lose. What makes us so great is our winning personalities, our remarkable maturity in the face of adversity. Like when I was a Bernie bro, when I was, this hipster leftist liberal dork, the Occupy Wall Street days, and Obama ended up winning, his elections. The conservatives ended up handling that with just remarkable maturity. And this is what we're going to do again. We're not going to behave like them. I promise you things are going to be okay. We're going to prevail. We're going to get through this. I genuinely do believe that. I have faith in the president. Even though, his chances are grim, I don't know if Mitch McConnell is insane enough to betray the president. He signaled that he's going to, but if Josh Hawley, Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, and Tuberville, right now Hawley and Tuberville have already expressed or made clear that they are going to contest the election, and there's already a ton of congressional members of the House of Representatives that are going to be contesting the election. They're going to be contesting certain electors for obvious reasons, and just don't give up, guys. And again, if this thing doesn't end up going our way, we're not going to behave like them. We're not going to do all the cringy bullshit that they did. I don't ever want to be like them in any way, shape, or form. So with that being said, I did everything that I could. I participated, in some things out here in my state. Of course, I went to the protest and I did some other things that I can't really talk about or go over. But I did everything that I could. I went to the events. I spoke with the press. I gave money. Goodness, man, I do these videos and I do, letters to the senators. And hopefully other people followed in my steps. And I encourage everybody to do the same thing. Speak out and be fearless. Get your facts in order. Just be thankful to be alive. I know I am. My grandfather was in the hospital and he's totally fine. Everything's good. I've been remodeling, just keeping my mind off a bunch of negativity, keeping my mind off of the inevitable, because there's really little I can do at this point. I wish I can be in DC with my friends. I wish I can be in DC with my fellow contemporaries. I'm not going to be able to make it. I'm out here again. Like my grandfather was in the hospital. But other than that, I've been doing really well. Staying out of trouble, of course. I regret not being able to stream. And there was a funny thing that happened. I was trying to stream and I was trying to do some other things online, but I got this notice from my ISP that I've went over my bandwidth because I reformatted my computer and I had to re-download all my games and stuff. And, just like I used up all my bandwidth and I thought they were going to charge me an arm and a leg, but they totally forgave it. So I'm off the hook and that's all over and done with. So again, just moving bravely into the future, things that are going to be happening. I am going to go back to doing the streams, 2 streams a week. Just come in, hang out, donate, help the channel out and that sort of thing. I don't really like to do the e-begging thing, but I mean, the links are in the description for obvious reasons. I'm on Periscope. I'm on DLive. I'm on YouTube. I am on Twitch. I stream VR, just hanging out, just cool stuff like that. I'm going to be emailing Matt Christensen and hopefully get to do an interview with him. We talked about doing that, but in October, but he was, getting married, and then life, got the better of me, and I got busy. Like right now, I'm busy. I'm always busy. I'm always doing something. So yeah, there's that. I have a Rumble account. I believe it's linked in the description, but I don't have any content on there yet. I do plan to start uploading content onto Rumble, and of course I will be getting my entire library onto Rumble eventually. That's probably going to happen in January, just because I got so much shit going on. I'm right now I'm remodeling one of my bathrooms, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's good to take a break, though. It's good to take a break. It's good to be back. This feels great. So more content to come, you guys. Just hang in there, man. I promise you, we're gonna get through this. It's gonna be fine. I'm not gonna give up on my president. I'm not gonna give up on Trump. I'm not going to submit to the Silicon Valley cartel. I'll never accept the results of the election. They will always be, even if Trump prevails, I'm still not going to accept the results of the election because of what transpired and what they've done, what the modern left has done, what these clerks in government have done, what the pedophiles in Hollywood have done is energize the right. They've energized independents. They've energized even a good amount of Democrats who ended up breaking for Trump. And they're going to come after every single one of these people. They're going to primary them. They're going to remove them. They're going to make their lives miserable for what they've done. People are sick of it. The country is being ripped off. That we see what is going on with these bullshit lockdowns, and Americans are going to fight back, and I'm going to assist in that effort. I'm not going to take this bullshit sitting down. And also, given the treatment of my fellow Americans, I'm no longer going to be supporting the police because they insist on violating their oath and violating the rights of innocent Americans, or they're violating their constitutional and human rights. I can't stand for that. The police, we backed the blue. I think it's time that the blue backs us and stop enforcing these draconian lockdowns from these overzealous Democratic governors and stop allowing, and stop preventing us from protesting and fighting back against these fucking clerks and health inspectors who are taking money away from innocent Americans, preventing them from working. It's bullshit. I can't stand it. I'm sick of it. And I encourage people to stand up against that nonsense as well. Again, I don't really got a lot of stuff. I don't got much against the police, but I can't in good conscience support them anymore, given the things that have transpired. I mean, there was a disabled veteran that was attacked. Fuck that, man. I can't do it. I'm not back in the blue anymore. These people are on their own. I'm not going to stand up for them. The BLM and Antifa want to make lies up about the police. Well, too fucking bad, so sad. If they want to quit in droves, that's fine. As long as I have my constitutional right to bear arms, I'm not worried about the thugs. I've been threatened plenty of times in my life, and if they continue to do so, well, not much has changed now, has it? Unless they take my rights away. Happy New Year's, guys. Stay well, stay healthy. Spend time with your family. Impress upon people in your life that family is important. Strong families make strong communities, and strong communities make strong states, and strong states make a powerful union to be reckoned with. And I feel like that's been lost on many Americans because of the divide in the nation that has been manufactured largely by pedophiles in Hollywood, and of course the fake news industry, which is the enemy of the people. Trump has been right about everything that he has espoused in the last 4 to 5 years. Man was right. And if he runs again in 2024, he has my vote for the third time. It's a charm, isn't it? Peace out.